on having to get more and more money to buy more and more media time to get more and more money. And so what you end up with is a situation where those guys that are writing those laws, they're writing them on behalf of the people that are financing their campaigns. So it's this loop that goes back and it goes around and around in a circle.
Yeah. You go to any of these commissioners, prior to the downfall in the real estate market, the developers ran benefits, campaign cocktail parties to raise money for them. And then they're turning around and they're approving. The developer comes in, I want to develop this land, no holds barred.
Yep.
Is that right?
No, this is exactly the problem. And until we...
And money runs campaigns, though. That's the problem.
I know.
And individuals don't want to pay or donate money, so it's left up to these big shots, the big companies such as the developers here in Lee County. When once they say, I gave you $500,000 to run your campaign, I need this property developed. I don't want any bars on it, restraints on it.
And, you know, maybe I'm naive, but you know, I know money plays a role, a big role in the campaign. But the bottom line is all that money is there to buy votes, and we, the voters, we have the ultimate choice.
Exactly.
And what guys like me and you have to do is we got to get out there and we got to get more people directly engaged in the process every day. And if we agree or disagree on issues, it doesn't matter as long as we're all actively participating, because we love to blame somebody else for all of our problems. It's human nature. But the bottom line is, in a democracy, we, the people, are the government. It's not them.
You wouldn't
it's
know
us.
that.
And we need to reassert ourselves.
You wouldn't know that from the standpoint of the politicians in Washington. It's them, not you and I. And we're going to probably have a socialist elected president in this country in 3 weeks.
Well, I don't know if I would call Barack Obama a socialist, but...
Well, then you don't know his policies. If you're a student of his policies, you'll see what his ideas are. He talks about 95% tax cut. There's 2 ways he's going to do it. First of all, he's going to let the present tax reduction die. Then he's going to turn around and then implement it. But do you know 30% of the 95 don't pay taxes anyway? 30% of the people who are out working do not have to pay taxes.
They don't pay federal income taxes, but they
I'm
do
talking,
pay payroll taxes.
Everybody pays sales tax too. But besides not paying taxes of those 30 people, they're going to get a check. They're going to call it a rebate. It's a welfare check. They didn't earn it, but they're going to get a check in the mail. Socialism. They're going to hit the little guy, the guy that develops the business in the street. Not the General Motors, but you that opens a liquor store or a tailor shop or a dry cleaning store or a candy store. These are the people he's going to hit. They employ most of the people in this country, not the General Motors. The little guys. And that's who he's going to hit. And then he says 95% of the people are going to get a tax cut, and we already talked about 30% are already there. Does he think he's going to get 5% of the people that are going to pay the taxes in this country? They don't. There's not that many people that make that much money.
You know, I have if you go out on the last table out here, I have a one sheet. It's called Who's Getting Paid, and this is from a very reputable non-party group. It's a breakdown of income levels in this country and how much taxes they pay, both income tax and payroll tax. It sounds like you know a lot of these numbers already, but you might want to grab one of those and take a look.
But you haven't answered that question. 5% of the people are going to get tax increases. How is he going to pay for all these entitlements?
Well, what happened? And I'm not. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not backing Barack Obama. I'm running as an independent, and I'm trying to stay clear of the presidential race. But I think what he's talking about is the fact that 95. The bottom 20% of this country got a little tiny tax cut with the Bush tax cuts, and the top 5% got a huge tax cut, and everybody else in the middle got an increase. When you factor in both the payroll taxes and federal income tax, you and I are paying more now when you combine payroll taxes and federal income taxes than we were before the tax cuts.
I don't know about that.
And those people in the top 5%, they have gotten a significant decrease in the amount of taxes that they're paying. So I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe what Senator Obama is talking about there is that by repealing the tax cuts, these people are going to be contributing a lot more. And that top 5% is people from the 96th to the 99th percentile. That's people who average about $300,000 a year, and the top 1% is people who average $2.5 million a year. So if you're talking a couple percentage points there, that's a huge amount of tax revenue.
5% of the people that are making that kind of money is never going to create enough money to pay for all these programs that he wants to.
You're absolutely right.
You know what happened? Well, you're too young to remember the Johnson years, the Great Society. More money was pissed down the tubes because of the Great Society. And it didn't get to the people that deserved it. They had all these welfare, they didn't call it welfare, all these different entitlement programs. When the government does something, it's welfare. No matter who gets the money, it's welfare.
I think we can go round and round on that a little bit, but I appreciate talking to you so much. And please,
Jeff, it's a pleasure talking with you. You're a listener.
That's what I'm trying to bring out here.
Most of these guys up there are not listeners.
That's what we need. And hopefully we can take this camera, my ears, my eyes, and we can make sure you're plugged in.
They don't give a damn. This woman here cares. She cares. But most of them don't give it. All they want is your vote, and then they forget about you for 4 years.
I get it. Sir, I get it.
But Betty is.
I get
Betty
it.
cares.
I get it. I get
Jeff,
it.
take care.
I get it. Thank you.
Good luck.
Well, now we have the scope of work.
One fire back.
Hang in there,
Charlie,
brother. Okay. All right. Take care, fellas. And you as well.
Yeah.
Well, I found out a lot of things more difficult before on this thing. I changed my vote.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
See you in Office Depot.
Okay, I'll be there. I'm in there a lot.
I know.
Thanks. Take care, Dick. Good night. Betty G, good night. It's like I said, I'm here. They want someone who's been in the business for a while. You got it. You got it. You got it. That's the best. You want that one?
And JJ. Yeah, that, I don't want John's just going
I'll tell you
Trying
what.
to get out here.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the building after we're done.
Where are you from? Where are you taking this? All right.
Hi, he's with me.
Good job.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Yes, good luck.
Hey, 2 nights in a row. Hey, I make it every morning. Take care.
Independent, yes. No party affiliation. But Mr. Mack hasn't been out. He's been out once so far this entire campaign. We've done probably about a dozen.
Next
of these
time,
forums.
take a picture of it. And
Yeah.
show it to the audience the next time. This
What?
is what he really looks like.
I tell you, and actually, I want you to go do this. Go get a couple of seconds of the empty podium up there, because that's going to be our shot of Mr. Mack.
Sure.
I just had mine done. You have,
Well, I'm glad you guys came. Thank you so much.
And the man was like,
How you doing?
That's a disappointing part. I just bought them about a month ago.
you know, I have my open door. You know, anybody can walk in. A captain of a base said, I have open door policy. Anybody can walk in, but you can't walk in unless you go to if you don't do it, even though he said, fine, you're going to be in trouble now. So you still have to go through a chain of command.
I know all about that. And, you know, I tell you, one of the things that really motivated me to get into this is, you know, after I got out of the military, I worked in the business sector, and I was actually in the internet business in the late '90s during the dot-com boom, and I saw the sharks that were in that business, and I came to this realization. I was lucky to be working at a small company, but I came to a realization that if you are a bunk private or an E1 seaman in the Navy, you have more control over your destiny and what you do at your job than you do working for a big corporation.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You know, and
that's what the military trains you for.
Exactly.
You know, I don't care when you're an E1, E2, whatever. You're being trained for these things and to do a specific task. People count on you to do the task, and you do your task because you want to get to the next one. You want to do. You want to get promoted. So you're trying to do your job the best way you can. And a lot of times that job might be involved with multi-million-dollar equipment. And you're in charge of it. Because I'm an E4 in charge of a jet airplane or whatever. You know, it is a big responsibility.
I'll never forget when I talk about, I was an E4, no, I was an E3 actually, and I was an intelligence analyst, and we worked with fixed wing aircraft. I was in Germany, and we had a real simple policy. If the intelligence equipment on the plane didn't work, the plane didn't go up. Well, our battalion was run by flight officers who were always concerned about making sure they got enough flight hours. So we had the captain of one of the companies, not my company, but a different company, was actually flying, and the equipment didn't work, he didn't want to go up. So as an E3, I went up there and told him, no, you cannot go up, sir. And I got so much hell for that, but the battalion commander backed me. He said, look, this is the policy, and that's what the military instills.
Absolutely, and this is what you have to say coming up there and stick to your guns and say you're going to do it. And I took some flack over the years doing the same thing. You know, but there's the right way, the wrong way, the Navy way, on it, and you got to sometimes in between. The right way, the Navy way, and then you're going to do it that way, to protect your people as well as your, your command and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of an interesting.
In politics, it's almost that way, except there's the Republican way, the Democratic way, and the right way. So.
Yeah, and I don't want either one. I am interested in politics only as an observer, and I think, and what is best for North Fort Myers, what is best for Florida, and what is best for my country, on it, and I take those in there. And what is the best? Everybody will talk. Everybody has good rhetoric and talking things. What is good for this sort of thing? But you go by what you see and make the best judgment you can on it. So if it's something for North Fort Myers, we need a lot here. I'm on the Civic Association board. We don't even have a rec area. And my grandkids, my son and grandkids are moving to New York because there's nothing here.
I know, it's this area.
Nothing. So we want to get something here.
It's kind of funny. I grew up we moved to Northgate Pro when I was like 9 from Fort Myers, and this part of Fort Myers to me, or this part of Lee County, this is Southwest Florida to me. North Fort Myers, the northern part of Fort Myers, the north part of Cape Coral, and it's always been struggling. East Fort Myers too. This area has always been struggling. But to me, this is really the heart of Southwest Florida.
It is to me too. Anything on it. But what is there here for young people growing up? What is there to do? If you're not involved in sports, then what else is there to do?
I spent my whole adult life trying to get away from this area, and then one day I realized this area, Southwest Florida, is like family. They drive you nuts. You want to get away from it as soon as you can, but you love it.
My nephew and niece both graduated from North Fort Myers, and one went to MIT, the other one went to Southwest Florida, and none of them are coming back because there's nothing here. None of them are coming back. So I said, well, that's what it is. My son and them going to New York, they may not come back. I'll have to go up to New York.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Well, Jeff, thank you very much for the talk.
What's your name? I'm sorry.
Ron.
Ron. Thanks a lot, Ron. It's great talking to you.